How I come to my first day of class with no pen. I got the outfit though, sweatpants and everything, but no pen. How is that even possible? Alright, you gotta get a pen. I hate pencils. Alright. You got a pen. Let's get another pen. Just in case. If I had 2 pens, that would be great. Oh yes, I had like 3 or 4 pens. Nice. Alright, cool. Keys in my book bag. I'm just so nervous, yo. I'm so nervous. Alright, I'm officially ready for school. I got my book bag. I looked the part. What time is it? It's 5:46. And I have class at 6 o'clock. So I got class in 15 minutes, but I'm gonna try to go to get my ID first. Or no, I don't know. I'm probably gonna have to wait to get my ID because class starts in 15 minutes. And I'm not trying to be late to class. So, plus I gotta use the bathroom. This is school. This is the path that I have to walk. I left this school in 2013, so we're gonna see how new everything looks. But I'm so hyped, yo. I haven't been to school since 2015, and I'm just, you may look at me weird, or be like, ooh, she weird. No, I'm not weird. I am not weird. I am just excited for class, okay? I'm so excited. I'm taking Spanish class, and this is just the beginning, okay? So I'm not just taking one class, I'm taking multiple classes, but starting off slow. I gotta get back. I'm so excited, yo. People are probably like, yo, she's so weird. But no, I'm not weird. I'm just, like, I haven't did school in I don't know how long. The financial person said my class was in the STEM building, so I'm in the STEM building. All right. Yo, I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped, yo. Whew. Fall festival. So far. Excuse me. You know where to get your ID at?
I haven't had to do it here.
Oh.
I did it at another campus.
Oh, okay. I kind of forgot. Oh, no, you good.
Should be that building
Uh-huh.
on the 2nd floor.
Right.
So you go through, take a left, you go through all these benches, everything kind of like the cafeteria.
Uh-huh.
Go up a set of stairs and there'll be a reception desk right there.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's where you get it.
All right, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so I'm going out. Everything kind of looks the same. I mean, they got this sign. This is academic building and Founders Hall. So, I don't know. We about to do some exploring. I should have left a little earlier, though, to be honest with you, because just so I can explore. Yo, this did not look like this when I had left. It was just like a plain empty spot. It did not look like this, y'all. It looked like a freaking McDonald's sitting area. Gotta touch everything. Oh, they no, they're not robies. Okay. Shop orders. Okay. CC shop. Showing y'all everything. Is this a bookstore? Area. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Where can I go get my ID?
Do you have another form of ID on you?
Yes.
Okay, check in here.
Okay. P00. I don't, my P00 number, I forgot.
You don't remember that? Okay, I can put you in the system.
Okay.
What's your cell phone number?
610-675-9851.
Alrighty. Have a seat. They're going to call the last 4 digits of your cell.
Okay, thank you. What time does this place close? What time do they close?
Here?
Yes.
This closes at 7:30 and we leave at 8 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
You have classes?
Yeah.
What time?
6.
Oh, it doesn't take that long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What time is it now? They should call you in a minute.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Alicia, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Better today.
Yeah,
I got 2 shot money on my 2 knees this
good.
morning.
You feel better?
It feels a lot better than it was yesterday. I'm telling you,
That's
yesterday
good.
felt like crap.
I'm glad to hear that.
That's you?
Now serving phone number 9851 at window 4.
Thank you. Hello.
How are you?
I just need an ID.
Okie dokie. Alright, do you have a... Oh yeah, you say something about that. Now generally we're not allowed to give IDs to non-credit students, but do you have an ID on you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you one.
Okay. All right.
Just don't say nothing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
What do you need it for? Just to print something, or?
Yeah, and just say that I'm in school at my job.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Just show me an ID.
Okay.
Yeah, they kind of.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
It's like these kind of courses.
Yeah, no.
Students are students to me.
No, that definitely makes sense. I definitely agree with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you working with me.
No problem.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And they're trying to become they're becoming mandatory anyway.
Right.
Whole school security kind of stuff.
Right,
Everybody
right.
has an ID, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I know I went to Temple. You can't get in no building without an ID.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. I went to Temple too.
Yeah, okay, nice.
Very particular.
Yeah. Where'd you graduate?
Do you want your old ID actually? Or you just want a new one?
I actually kind of like that picture.
If you want, you
Can I have a new one? I just a new
Want a new
one.
one?
Yeah.
Alright,
But can you save that picture just in case?
I can print it out for you if you want.
Okay, alright.
You solid. Me too.
Alright, cool.
Figured out how to print it.
I'm sorry I'm being difficult. I'm just like, I don't know. I haven't been in school since 2015, so I'm like,
Alright, welcome back.
I'm super hyped.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Where are you working at?
Belmont Behavioral Hospital?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You work there?
He works for, Belmont Treatment for Belmont Hospital, whatever. Treatment for comprehensive treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Belmont Behavior.
On 4200 Monument Road?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
That's where my husband works.
Okay, nice. What does he do there?
He's a psychotherapist.
Okay, cool. I'm a BHA, so I work directly on the floor with the kids. So I might have seen him. I work directly with the kids, so I'm a BHA.
Yeah, that's how
Mm-hmm.
he started. He started as a BHA.
Oh, okay, nice.
He started about 13 years ago as a BHA.
Oh, wow. Now he's a psychotherapist. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah.
I know, right?
Might know
Center
him.
for Comprehensive Treatment.
Yeah,
I'm like, why can I not remember?
they changed the name.
Well, and they got bought out. They used to be Einstein.
Right.
They got bought out by
Mhm.
Acadia a
Mm-hmm.
couple years ago.
Mm-hmm. Such a small world.
Yeah, you actually come down here.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Alright, so let me get this set up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Oh, hi, how are ya?
Doing all right.
Okay. I think this is the last of the Mohicans.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, I was
This
just saying.
is the
Oh.
Your class is getting there, so we gotta get you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Why, you'll be done.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I give you something new. I have a
It's right in the STEM building. So cool. So
How you doing?
I gotta go far.
So into it.
I gotta run.
Okay, sweetie, you be careful going home. All right. Uh-huh.
Biggest
You do?
industrial
Alright, here. So if you just stand there for me.
Okay. Right here?
Camera there.
Oh.
Count down for 3 seconds. Give you a few seconds.
Okay.
When you're ready.
All right. I'm ready.
Alright.
And you turn left.
3,
You're going to see a sign saying
2,
Texas.
1.
Just walk out. Yeah, make it. All right.
Should be good.
Hi, how you doing? Excuse me? Yes, sir.
You got it?
Yeah, it's just
Okay. Cool.
1446.
just 1.
14,
I didn't even realize there was a camera right here. That's.
Actually, you can just.
Oh, good.
down.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they said.
Alright.
Is this better?
Ready?
Yeah.
Course number.
3,
Yeah, that might, that's the CRA number.
1. Okay, should be good.
I could
All right.
look here.
Cool.
So you got.
Awesome. Sure.
Thank you.
There's your old one.
Yes.
Don't lose it. Bad.
What's your ID number? 00.
One.
Thank you.
Don't lose that. $5.
All right, I won't.
You got 2 for 1.
Thank you.
Okay, Christopher. Christopher is your name? 30061. Coming up, 612526. Oh, I have 06. Oh.
Sherry's like, I'm not kidding behind you. Like, give it to me right now.
Okay.
I will add it to the you'll get it. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
There you go.
Thank you so much. You're like the most awesomest person. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Go to class. Good luck with your job.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you.
I said where? Here. You'll never see. Courtyard, yeah, courtyard. Courtyard's right outside, is it not?
She gave me 2 IDs. It's like the most awesomest person. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. I gotta pee first. So many people are going close. I think I'm going higher. 2129.
2129?
Yeah.
That would be, let me think about this. That would be on the ground floor. If you go down these stairs,
Uh-huh.
you see the coffee place, you're going to keep going into what's the academic building. It's connected to this one.
Uh-huh.
Go all the way down to the end of the hall, and it should be around that area.
Oh, somebody told me it was in the STEM building.
No, you said 2129, right?
Yeah, 20.
Yeah, it's the second.
Or no, is that it? 21.
Yeah. That's a weird place. No, room 4409.
Oh, so the fourth floor.
4409
Oh,
is in this room.
okay,
You're
okay.
going to the fourth floor.
Okay, thank
Yep.
you so much. Thank you. This is definitely an adventure. I'm 6 minutes late to class. Bad start. It's the fourth floor. How do you get to the fourth floor? Oh, okay. I see the steps. I'm telling you, I'm extremely late. I'm like 10 minutes late. Here we go.
In case I can read it, or again, yeah, I think it's a G, but it's a 9, and then you have mine, right there. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
So, obviously, as I'm sure you have to figure out, my name's Mike, I'm the instructor. This is probably, let's see, it's been 13 years I've been teaching here. Not necessarily this course or this location, but it's been some time. A little bit about me. My first job out of college was I was a press 2 for Spanish guy at an insurance company called American Independent Insurance. You ever heard of American Independent? Everyone have it? You have it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, good. They're like the worst. Like, the fact that I had a job there is kind of crazy because I applied to be it wasn't called this press 2 or Spanish job, that's what it was really. And they're like, you can speak Spanish? I said, yeah. And they're like, all right, you're hired. There was like no test involved or anything. I didn't need to be certified. They're like, yeah, get a job. You seem like you know what you're doing. So I worked there for a bit, and I started teaching Spanish in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. I taught at Father Judge for a couple of years, and Bonner Prendy for a couple of years as well. During that time, though, I was running international summer camp, just in the summer, as director, but eventually took a full-time job there to recruit South American and Latin American students to come to our programs at University of Pennsylvania, Yale, University of San Diego, Villanova University, and Harvard College. So I really got lucky that I have the opportunity to work and have the opportunity to speak Spanish all the time, because it is one of those muscles that if you don't use it, it doesn't necessarily go away, but it'll atrophy a bit. Just grab a book from the pin right there. So, I'm lucky enough to have that opportunity. But one of the things we're going to talk about here are ways to make Spanish part of our daily life, because it's one of those things where if you immerse yourself in it, the more you expose yourself to it, obviously, the better you're going to be. There's a book there, you can grab one. So things that are simple as putting Spanish subtitles on Netflix. Anybody on Netflix in here? Of course you guys got Netflix, everyone does, right? So if you can put Spanish subtitles on there, I do it for all the Netflix shows that I watch, and it's just a little extra exposure to the language. You might not know exactly what they're saying all the time, but just to have that exposure over and over and over again, hopefully reinforces some of the things that we're going over in here. We'll hear a bit about all of you guys in a bit so we can get a sense of what your goals are for the course, but this course is probably about half English grammar and half Spanish grammar, and here's the reason why. Right? Does anyone know, raise your hand if you know what an indirect object pronoun is in English? Okay, ooh, got a grammar whiz over here. Okay, so that's one, out of 20 of you guys. And the thing is you all do know what that is because you use it on a daily basis, and you can absolutely use it in your writing, in your speech. It's something that we learn when we're 4 years old and then forget about it. So the people that know grammar are the people that are able to identify these things and look at these things and say, okay, that's an indirect object pronoun there. which for most people is just not a necessary part of your life. But when you're learning another language, how can I possibly expect you to understand what an indirect object pronoun is in Spanish if you don't understand it in English? So there'll be a lot of like review as far as probably the grammar you learned in 3rd or 4th grade, memorized, and then just promptly forgot about because you already knew how to use it in the speech. So more like diagramming sentences. They don't have to diagram sentences in elementary school. If you went to Catholic school, I bet you did. That's all they did. You know, the nuns would diagram the sentence, diagram the sentence. So if you remember that, it's going to be really useful because those are tools that we're going to use to figure out how to use these new things that we're learning in Spanish. Because if you don't have the grammar, basically the only way to learn it is to completely memorize it. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not smart enough to do that. But you can't just memorize an entire language. You can memorize rules, but to memorize an entire language is nearly impossible. So we're going to break down the skeleton of the language and get highly grammatical in this class, which means in the beginning it's going to feel like we're not making a ton of progress. Okay? So that's just initially what we all have to do is to get this baseline of grammatical terms. But it allows exponential growth eventually. So by the end of this course, what you should be able to do is express anything you want in Spanish with the aid of a dictionary, of course, in the present tense, the future tense, and the simple past tense. Okay, so quite a bit. They won't allow you to be eloquent and give amazing speeches, but as far as basic communication is concerned, it'll certainly get the job done there. The caveat to that is vocab. Vocab is, in my opinion, an individual pursuit. It's a waste of all of your time if I sit up here and say, okay, repeat after me, and just give you English, Spanish, English, Spanish. You guys can all do that on your own, and the expectation is to do it on your own. Because here, we're going to talk about things that you don't necessarily know how to do on your own because you don't have the grammatical tools in English as well. And again, I don't say that as an elitist grammarian. It's just a matter of identifying things, right? Like my wife, for example, super smart, way smarter than I am, could not point out a piece of grammar, for the life of her. That doesn't mean she's not smart. It just means that she doesn't do that as part of her daily life, or doesn't need that as part of her daily life because she already knows how to use it in speech, in writing, etc. So again, it's going to be really grammatical, which may be frustrating at first, but I can promise you that's the only way to have a long-term grasp of the language. Anything else is a short-term fix. And we'll talk about in a second things that you guys have done before as far as maybe like Rosetta Stone or Duolingo or things like that. And they're okay as far as supplements are concerned, but as far as teaching you the language, they're not helpful because they're really memorization based. And you guys don't have the luxury of immersing yourself. Like I teach an ESL class after this class every evening for Tuesdays and Thursdays. And those men and women have the luxury of leaving the course and being immersed in an English-speaking environment, right? So it's a lot easier to learn when that's the case. Whereas you guys might have 4 hours of classroom time, and then you may not get the opportunity to use it for the rest of the week. All right, so you need to find ways to supplement, but just leaving and being immersed is simply not an option for most of us. Maybe. We'll learn a bit about you guys in a bit, but usually that tends to be the case. So what we're going to do now is introduce ourselves. We're going to say who we are. I'm going to try to remember your names, what your language background has been, even if it wasn't Spanish, and also what methods you've tried before, as far as like classes, Rosetta Stone. So we're trying to figure out what worked and what didn't work, and also what your specific goals are for the language. Okay, and it's really important to me that we have an open, welcoming atmosphere in here because you guys are going to make tons of mistakes. Okay, tons and tons and tons of mistakes, and I promise you, I get that. I'm used to that. When I was studying, I started Spanish in, this was 6th grade. And all my Spanish teachers were usually native speakers, and they kind of took the tack that if you asked a specific question about why something is the way it is, it's just like, it's just like that, you have to memorize it. And it was really difficult for me. It wasn't until I went to university and started studying at Temple, and my roommate was a linguist, or studying linguistics, and he helped me break it down and make it more of a science than an art. Because the reality is that language should not be a difficult thing. Okay, I know that learning a whole new one is hard, but they're set up to be user-friendly, right? right? Over generations, they've been polished to say like, okay, this is the best way to communicate things. This is the easiest way to communicate things. And everyone has the ability to do it. If I dropped any of you off in Costa Rica and said, see you later, you'd figure it out. You would. You absolutely would. But it's harder as adults that have responsibilities outside of class to do that. We need to really make a plan to study and to make those things work. So we're also going to talk about strategies in the class as far as how I can do 5 minutes a day, how I can do 10 minutes a day, because that will seriously snowball and do a lot, for your instruction, for your general progress. Okay. So, like I said, we're going to make a lot of mistakes here. We need to be comfortable making mistakes. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. I'm willing to bet that if I followed you guys around and listened to your English all day, I'm sure I can identify hundreds of mistakes that you guys make. And that's fine. That's totally okay, because when we're learning as adults, we have an unrealistic expectation that we need to speak perfectly. Okay? Does anyone have any Spanish-speaking colleagues, family, anything? Right? So, if you think their Spanish is perfect, you're crazy. Okay? The same way my English isn't perfect, when we speak, your English isn't perfect, their Spanish isn't perfect. But guess what? They don't worry about it as much as we do, because we place this unnecessary burden on ourselves to be perfect all the time. And it's just not useful. I have 4 kids that you'll be hearing a lot about, and my 4-year-old is the best example I can hear now. His name's Jack, and he's absolutely insane. But when he makes a mistake, he doesn't kick himself and be like, I'm never going to get this, right? He just makes a mistake and then moves on. Right? And that's what we need to do as well. This is way easier said than done. It's like we just need to be a bit more Jack-like and accept the fact that we're going to make mistakes and then move on. Because we're so hardwired to say like, oh, what's the word for chair? What's the word for chair? What's the word for chair? I'm never going to learn this language, right? Just about one mistake is enough to make us just throw in the towel for a lot of people. And I've totally been there. So I just want to acknowledge the fact that we're all going to make mistakes. And if we work through them together as a group in an open environment, then we're going to make tons of progress. Okay? So we'll start with you. What's your name?
Linda Ferrata.
Okay, Linda. So what's your deal? What's your background?
I was born in West Indies, so I'm fluent in French.
Oh, okay, great.
I was fluent in French until I was in Brazil.
Okay.
My mother spoke Spanish fluently, but I was in Virginia.
Okay.
So I grew up learning it.
Okay.
I took 4 years high school and some college.
Okay. All right. Wonderful.
And to get that.
Well, the French is certainly going to help you, as far as like just understanding how the language is working. I'm willing to bet money on the fact that you're going to have a difficulty getting rid of the sound. And anyone that's ever took French, there are French teachers too. They really draw get that into them. So getting rid of that French accent, it is going to be difficult at times. But again, I think accents are completely okay. My goal for all of you guys is not to make you sound like native speakers. When I speak Spanish, I make no effort to sound like I'm a native speaker. I try to pronounce the words correctly, right? But I have an accent. You know why I have an accent? Because I'm from Philadelphia, right? So I speak Spanish with a Philadelphia accent. And to try to sound like, I call it the Antonio Banderas effect, to try to go somewhere and sound like a native speaker without some serious linguistic talent like an actor might have is ridiculous. The same way I wouldn't go to England and get off the plane and be like, hello, how are you? Right? It's okay to speak the way you speak, and we're certainly going to endeavor to pronounce the words correctly, but to fake an accent is not something I'm concerned with, because everyone has accents, and